All right, we are officially starting the WRTP Big Step Centro Hispano Career Fair. And I am going to get this going on Facebook. Maybe. Did you get the option to put it on Big Steps instead of your own?
You're muted, Steph.
Thank you. Yeah, on the very top of your Facebook page, you should be able to change your. There's a little triangle, I think. Should be able to change because I gave you administrator rights.
It is not giving me the rights to do that. So we could always post the video.
We'll post it later, the broadcast. Yeah, I think we might as well just go ahead and begin, and then we'll post that broadcast later.
Perfect. Now when we can delete all of this fudging around in the beginning.
I say we do this. I say, Norma, you can kick it off.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our first ever virtual Latino career job fair for the trades with our partnerships with WRTP and Big Staff and Centro Hispano. It is an honor to join you here this morning. We have done this virtual fair for 2 years, and this is our third year going all live and virtual. So we are very proud to bring this out to you. Thank you to all the partners and employers who are making this happen. We are glad you're here too. You know, this unprecedented times are teaching us things that we didn't know about ourselves, and that it is a true honor to have all the participants join us in this job fair as well. The fact that you are here, all and every one of you, tells us that you are resilient, that you're here to thrive, and you will thrive. Through these opportunities, through these job fairs, through building and continuing our careers in the trades, everybody has an opportunity, especially as we know the demand for skilled workers will continue to grow. And we are so happy that we still have these trainings, we still have the resources to help you get there. Despite of the circumstances, dreams can continue, and you're here to make that career change. You're here to make those dreams happen. No matter how hard it gets, you are here to make your dreams happen. Professionals in the trades have the capacity to adapt. Again, that's why we're here, right? And I'm sure all of you, all the participants today, and maybe if you are watching us and have considered joining the trades, already have that skill set. You are adaptable. You know, your work requires that to be in different environments, to be in different weather, to be in different, on the different roofs. And so you have the capacity to adapt. And that under these times is a very, very crucial skill set to have. And you are essential. You are essential to our economy. Your future job is crucial to continue building and shaping our city, our county, and our state. Your adaptability, to all the participants, your adaptability, resilience, and courage will take you far. And so let's keep building and building. Now more than ever, you are vital to our economy and to keep us going. So thank you for that, and thank you employers for keeping us also, for providing those opportunities for our participants. Again, thank you for joining us. And on behalf of Centro Hispano's staff, we just want to remind you that we're here for you. that even though our office doors are closed, we're here virtually for you, either via phone, video, Facebook. We are connected and we're working really, really hard to make sure that you have the resources that you need, and working with our partners to make sure that we can do this work even better and bring as many resources as possible for you. I would like to give a special thank you to Stephanie Johnson, Stephanie Moreno, and Candy from Big Step. This is something that has never happened before, and we are very excited that we can bring it for you today. You are an incredible team, incredible women. Thank you for continuing to support it and bringing this to all of us. I'm very honored to work with you through this first ever virtual Latino construction career fair. Thank you. And now I'm gonna pass it on to Stephanie Moreno. Y gracias a todos. Solo quería mencionar en español un poquito, perdón Stephanie, gracias por estar con nosotros. Nada más les recordamos de parte de Centro Hispano que estamos aquí para ustedes, que esta carrera virtual, esta feria de carrera virtual es la primera vez que se hace y estamos muy orgullosos de poderla traer a usted, de que si todavía usted tiene su sueño de cambiar su carrera, de unirse a esta oportunidad de trabajo, oportunidades de trabajo, hoy es el momento y todavía tiene la oportunidad para hacerlo. Y aquí estamos para apoyarlos en cualquier y con cualquier circunstancia en la que estemos. Vamos a seguir construyendo y trabajando juntos. Ahora sí, gracias Stephanie Moreno.
Muchísimas gracias, Norma. Buenos días, good morning. It is a great pleasure, and definitely we have been very, very fortunate. WRTP Big Step has been fortunate to collaborate with a great community partner. And like Norma had mentioned, 3 years ago we did this at Centro Hispano. Last year we did this, and we had one planned, but unfortunately it fell right on the week that we decided, or that it was decided that we had to stay home. So my great colleagues Stephanie and Candy had decided, hey, let's make this happen. We've got to figure out a way, and here we are, our first virtual career fair, and we're hoping that this is going to be the first of many. If we have to continue under these circumstances, hopefully not. But again, thank you very much, Centro Hispano, for hosting, or what would have been hosting, at your location for this fair. So my name is Stephanie Moreno. I am the Women Apprenticeship Coordinator with Big Step, and along with my colleagues, Stephanie Johnston and Candy Guerra, we are here to offer the community and all of our participants this career fair. And we also want to thank the trades, and we also want to thank our contractors who graciously decided to venture into this new realm. And we're gonna definitely, wow, we're making it look easy, and hopefully we're going to continue, and this is we're going to push on, and it's going to be great. So with further ado, I guess we can without further ado, we can move on to our other presentations. Or Stephanie, you want to?
There is just some logistical stuff I wanted to bring up for kind of our attendees. So none of the attendees have the video function or the microphone set on. Those are all turned off automatically. So please don't worry about, we are not recording or viewing any of your video or audio. If you do have any questions during the presentation, please try to use the Q&A option in Zoom. So how we will try to move forward is that each presenter will have an opportunity to talk about their organization. And then at the end of their presentation, if you do have any questions, Stephanie Moreno will ask the questions and I will respond to them via the text message and kind of as it is being answered. So again, please try to use that Q&A function in Zoom if you do have any questions. If you have any technical difficulties, you can also send a chat to myself. That's the best place to ask for any questions as far as like if you can't hear or if the video is not working. I will try to help as far as the technology goes, and Stephanie Marino is going to kind of help move things along. And again, this will be recorded and available on demand at any time. So if you do need to go, feel free to come back and use the same link to view the job fair at any time today. And then later at the end of the day, probably tomorrow on Friday, I will send out the recording to the people who registered, along with the Google folders that were shared by the employers and the trades. And then I will also be sending out your resumes and contact information to the employers. If you do have any questions, feel free to, again, do a private chat unless it's directly to the trade or to the employer. And in that case, please use the Q&A and we will try to get to all of your questions in a timely fashion, and hopefully we won't, please kind of work with us here. This is our first time doing a virtual fair, so there might be some hiccups, but so far it's going pretty well. And I will turn it back over to Stephanie.
Thank you. So we were hoping to have Elizabeth Lorenz on from Latino Academy. I don't know if she's on or not. I don't see her. So what we could do is either, I don't know who's up next, Steph. If there's somebody else who's up next who would like to proceed, Mr. Reed, hello. I'm not sure if you are ready and willing and able to move into her slot and move, answer questions and give us a little bit of details of your organization and what you'd be looking for. That would be fantastic.
Stephanie, I am. I would guess everybody can see the 1901 logo there and what we're all about. So we do have sheet metal, steam fitting, plumbers, and sprinkler fitters. The sprinkler fitter is ran under main fire, but it's ran out of our office here with our people. That's an up and coming one that we've just acquired within the last 6-8 months. So we're pretty excited about that. We are looking to start an apprentice in that field coming up here in the next couple of months. We do have some plumbers that we are looking to get started in the next couple of months. We thought schedules on projects were going to happen a little bit sooner, but with the COVID, we are having some slowdowns with projects getting started and actually opening the doors. As far as sheet metal goes, we have probably 1 or 2 openings. I am looking at a person that came through with you the last time for one of our tours. We just met again yesterday. We're hoping to put that person to work in a week or so. Again, just kind of all basing on schedules with some of the stuff getting slowed down and or stopped for a while. We've been able to keep everything manned up with the people we have. All our apprenticeships are basically 5 years. We do try to hire in as a pre-apprentice for at least 6 months to take a look at that person, make sure they're showing up on time, listening, retaining, and moving forward. And like Norma said earlier, I mean, it's all about what we do out there, right? It's raining today, but the jobs are still open, so we're still working. One of our job sites we're doing underground, we're not digging in the rain, but we've moved to another site that the building's up, but the windows aren't in, the roof's on, that kind of thing. So we just got to be ready for that change every morning and every day and every week. Construction schedules change all the time. We just have to, little water off a duck and keep moving. So we are open to having any kind of a tour through our building as we have been before. We can look at the sheet metal shops, kind of see what they do. We do have a hands-on task we can do, along with the copper fab shop for plumbing and steam fitting, actually doing a little bit of soldering, and then the welding shop, not necessarily welding anything, but we can look at the welding process through some of the lenses so people can see what the buggle welders do and what the steam fitters do. Right now, steam fitting wise, we are still pretty strong on manpower. We're not really looking to build in that profession right now, but I do know a lot of applicants we get are looking for steam fitting. We don't want to discourage anybody that wants to go after their passion. Just be it known that steam fitting, it may take a while because there are so many applicants. But if applicants are just strictly looking at the money, please look at the total package. You know, all the trades have benefits that are fairly comparable. Sometimes it's not always what you're getting actual dollars on the check versus what you like to do. If you love what you do, it's not necessarily a job coming to work. So I would be willing to take any questions. I don't know if there are any out there right now. Best contact would be email. Even if you're looking for a steam fitting position or any of the other ones, we ask that you always fill out a application for us because things change daily and weekly. And sometimes when we call on older calls that we had talked to, they've already found another spot somewhere else. So keeping that applicant pool up to date would be great.
Mark,
Oh, Mark.
I want to, I'm sorry, Stephanie, I'm going to jump in. I want to definitely give you a shout out because I know that you really, really work closely with us and you really help our participants. Those who don't know a little bit about the mechanical trades, you do offer a lot of information. You're very welcoming. You offer our participants to come and you give us a private tour. So I need to, you know, give you a shout out and kudos because you know, some of these folks don't even know what a sheet metal worker does, what steam fitters do. And you have provided a lot of our participants that and definitely have opened up a lot of minds to those careers and really I appreciate, you know, all you do and your work that you do with us and the partnership that we have created.
Well, thank you. And we appreciate the fact that you invite us. And again, we, you know, I've been in the trades for going on 34 years now, and it's about rebuilding and keeping that ball rolling with the younger groups coming up and new people coming into the industry. So it has to be that way. We've got to work together. And one of the people that we may be bringing on for sheet metal came to that one tour and didn't really know anything about sheet metal, but after they took a look at it, they thought, well, that looks kind of cool. So we just did another walkthrough with that person, just the individual the other day. So we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Stephanie, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no worries. I totally agree. Mark, thank you for coming. We really appreciate your help and especially with the career exploration and helping our participants kind of figure out, you know, what industry is the best fit for them instead of just kind of determining it based on the wage. We just did have a quick question about the application process. Is that a paper application or is it online?
I believe it's online. If somebody wanted to send me an email, I can send it to them personally. I like that idea because I get to see them a lot sooner usually. But we can do it either way. They are online.
Okay, so they can email you asking for the application. Would you also like a copy of their resume or do you review resumes? You just review the application?
Nope, we review both.
Okay.
And again, you know, even since 2008, things have changed as far as job security, meaning you've worked at a place for a couple of years, you have a little bit of a history there. Those things have changed, but we still look at what they've done in the past. Are there any things that, you know, coincide with the jobs that they're looking at? We also look at if they went through Operation Big Step, what they did there. Again, those are all little stepping stones that can be used. So we definitely look at both of them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the information. And that is all the questions that I have from the participants on the panel. So was there anything else you would like to add before we move forward?
Just real quick, I think Norma brought up, you know, essential. We've been pretty lucky through this whole epidemic, and we feel like we still will be. We're all doing our stuff at work and social distancing, and we did just start bringing interviews back in this week. We are shooting temperatures, asking them to wear a mask, but a lot of our job sites are doing that same thing. And we're all trying to do our part because it's not just about the one person. That person's married, there's 60 people on that site. Maybe they're all married times 2, right? Times a couple of kids. None of us are really freaked out about it. It's just trying to do our part to keep everybody safe, because we are affecting so many lives. You know, we have 146 field employees right now, times 2, times kids. That would affect a lot if we started shutting jobs down. You guys have been through our shops, so you see we've got, you know, somewhere in the 20 range people in our shops. It worked out really good. We did shoot a person at one point. It was 100.4. Worked out great. They had only touched one door. Didn't have to clean our whole shop down. Didn't have to clean everything. Did the bathroom, nothing. So it all worked out. It turned out a couple, 72 hours later, there were no other symptoms. His temperature had come back down again. It was just a fluke of some sort. But again, it would have worked if he did have COVID. We didn't contaminate the building and stuff like that. And it's been very good to us. Even in 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we still had a lot of work out there. Did things slow down? Certainly. But these trades and these careers are fantastic, and you can make a good living out of it. It's just about what you make of it. You've got to be willing to show up every day on time, ready to work, listen, retain, and just take that knowledge farther and farther, and hopefully become a foreman someday.
Thank you for that information, Mark. So if his information is going to be here, and we'll be here, and you can always go back and look at this. We will also send out, it'll be on our webpage. It'll be on, hopefully it'll be on Centro Hispano's also Facebook page too. So we'll make sure that we get the information if there's any interest in 1901 and those careers of the mechanical sheet metal, steam fitting plumbers, and sprinkler fitters. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Great. Next, Elizabeth Lawrence from Latino Academy. And I'm just going to touch base real quick. We are also very fortunate to be able to start partnering with Latino Academy. I was invited by them to speak for their all-female series about non-traditional occupations, and very fortunate. And I really appreciate the fact that we're able to start and begin a collaboration, because I think definitely, again, we are very invested in our community. We want to make sure that our community and the folks in our community are subjected to fantastic careers out there, and we're here to be able to help them, whether it's either, through us, with collaboration, Latino Academy, with collaboration with Centro Hispano. And so again, thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see some familiar faces there. Thank you so much for having us. Yes, and again, I'm very glad that you were able to help us out with the training series for non-traditional jobs for women, because I think, especially during these times with COVID-19, a lot of people are being forced to kind of reinvent themselves. There's kind of that initial shock of, what are we going to do? Many people lost their employment or had drastically reduced hours. And so now we're kind of moving into this second phase where a lot of people are being forced to reinvent themselves, look for other options, and maybe even kind of go out there and try something that they might have been interested in, or it might have caught their attention before, but they just didn't do it. So I think this is a really good opportunity, and Latino Academy is definitely here to help with that. I would like to share my screen if that's okay. I do have, let me see. I do have a little PowerPoint that just has some, let me see here. Let me go into my slideshow. Just some very basic information, and that way people can take notes if they want to, if there's anything in there that would be interested. So I am Ellie. I'm the Director of Operations at Latino Academy. I work very much hand in hand with Margarita Avila. She's actually in that career training series for women this morning, so she wasn't able to participate in this webinar. But we both work in the employment area and job training. So some of the classes that we have at Latino Academy, we do provide GED, and these classes are in Spanish. we have classes normally in Madison, in Fitchburg, in Sun Prairie, in Waunakee, several places around Dane County. So this is a great program for people that are interested in improving their employment options, and a GED, getting a GED is a great way to do that. We also have English classes. The cool thing about our English classes, we do have some specific classes for different areas of work. So for example, we have English for the skilled trades. So this is an English class that's designed for people that work maybe in construction, in mechanics, in any of the skilled trades, electricist, plumber, anything. So it's a very specific vocabulary, and we're really trying to give people the tools to use on a job site. We also have English for customer service, and we have English for the health careers. So these are very great classes. I think some of these classes can even go hand in hand with classes that are available at other agencies. For example, at Centro Hispano, a person can get their, start the path to their CNA. We also have an English class for people that are interested in the health careers. So those can kind of piggyback off of each other, and it really is a good opportunity available for people. We also have computer classes from basic computational skills to more advanced classes like Excel. We do provide CDL classes and training for both A and B. This is awesome opportunity. We just bought a semi-trailer last year, so we can now offer our Class A classes. Unfortunately, this is on hold at the moment. We aren't able to do driving practices because of the COVID-19 situation, but we are still doing class. And once we're able to, we will be doing driving practice again. So it's been a really great program. It's grown a lot just in the last year or so. It's a wonderful opportunity because we have some good connections with local employers, including Dane County, Lycon, CertCo. So some of our graduates from that program are earning well over $20 an hour, $24 an hour and up. So it's a very, very good opportunity. We have a bilingual construction class. This is in partnership with Stevens Construction. And it's another opportunity for people to have a direct link to an employer. The students that do our course and are interested in going into construction can then move on and be employed by Stevens Construction. We have ServSafe classes. We have a wonderful instructor. Our graduation rate in our ServSafe program is super high. So anybody that works in food or is interested in working in the food industry, it's a wonderful opportunity to be certified. That certification lasts 5 years, so it's well worth the effort to get it. Again, we have classes in customer service, and then we also have some specialized certifications. Please let me know if I'm going too long. Including forklift certification for the most common types of forklift, and we have different OSHA trainings for different areas. We actually just had a specialized training for COVID-19 safety, and this was by our OSHA instructor. So, we're really trying to look for what tools can we give people that will help them be successful, especially in this new job climate. So definitely, if anybody's interested in these types of things, please get in contact with us because that's what we're there for. Another thing that we work with is the employment area. So we help people work on their resume. We help people get their CV in line. We do practice interviews with people. We're really good at being tough. We're really good at being intimidating. It's good to get that practice in before an interview. We also have very good connection with a lot of local employers, including the county, including some private employers, including, like, for example, we have a great relationship with ABC, and so they have all types of companies in the skilled trades associated with them. So we really, we've been able to kind of tap into them in the past and find good employment opportunities for people with very specific interests or specific needs as far as their employment search goes. The picture that I have up right now are 3 gentlemen that went through our CDL program. They got their CDL Class B licenses, and they were just hired by the county last November to be permanent employees. And they're all earning, I believe, almost $25 an hour. So it's really cool to see people go through that program and when they have the desire to be successful, they're definitely successful in that. Here I put up some contact information and a picture of Margarita because she's not here today and you guys can see me, so I put my picture up. Margarita Avila is our director of workforce development, and I put up her phone number as well as her email. She's a wonderful person, and she helps coordinate all of our classes in that area. So she coordinates our CDL, both Class A and Class B course. She coordinates our Serve Safe course, a lot of our certification, the bilingual construction training, the bilingual series for women in non-traditional careers. She helps us coordinate all those classes. And I also put up my contact information. I am the director of operations, but I also help in the employment area to help people get their resumes ready, to help people in their job search. And we are both totally bilingual and we're very happy to help. We love to see people bettering their economic situation and bettering their opportunities. It's really about making our community a better place. Economic development, not just for, on a personal level, for families and for our whole community. So it's cool to see that. And that's about it. I don't know if anybody has any questions or any comments.
I am not seeing any questions. I don't know if Steph, you are, but I do want to make give a quick shout out to, thank you, Elizabeth, but I'm not sure if many of you know, but Margarita used to work at WRTP in what I like to call the mothership in Milwaukee. I don't know if Tracy, were you there when she worked there a long time ago?
So back when I worked for, when I was the director of construction at WRTP Big Step in Milwaukee, many, many years ago, Margarita was hired and was with us quite a while. I was sad when we lost her. As a contractor now, working for a contractor, I was very happy to see her in the role she's in, because I know from my experience with her, she is an asset to any organization, and I think it will help strengthen partnerships.
Great. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was very, very happy to have met her, and so definitely happy again to be able to begin hopefully what's going to be a long collaboration and long partnership with Latino Academy. So thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Yes,
great information.
So just one quick question. If someone was interested in signing up for some of your classes, what is the best way to sign up for it? Is it on your website or emailing you or Margarita?
Yes, so currently, because of the situation, our office is not open to the public. All of our class registration is online. So if you're interested in signing up for our classes, our summer classes will be starting, I believe, the second week of June. So we have about 2 weeks before those start. And anybody who is interested in signing up for class, if you go on Facebook, you can like or follow our Facebook page, which is Latino Academy of Workforce Development. We will be posting the link for registration once we have that ready. You could also go to our website, which is latinoacademywi.org. On that website as well, you can find the link to register for classes. Many of our classes this summer will be online classes. Just because of the current situation, we kind of have some programs a little bit restricted this summer, such as our CDL program. At the moment, we're not able to do driving practice. But anybody who's interested in any programs with us, please, you could also text or email Margarita or myself to either of those numbers, and we would be happy to help you out. We're all kind of working from home and very much connected via email and via phones these days. So any of those would be a good way to contact us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your help.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. And again, yeah, I feel like we're in front of a computer screen now more than ever. But yeah, thank you very much. Let's see, who do we have next? The Carpenters. I am proud to introduce Aaron Zimmerman and Polo Duran with the Carpenters Local 314. So take it away, Mr. Zimmerman.
Can you hear me now? it's always fun dealing with the technology. So yes, we are with the carpenters. We do offer apprenticeship programs, and those apprenticeship programs are through our contractors. I do have a quick slideshow if I can just share my screen. And I'm just pulling it up here. All right. So a little bit about apprenticeship. What is an apprentice? And is my computer gonna? So of course my computer is not going to cooperate with me. So it is a state approved program. Here we go. It is through the state. The nice thing about being through the state is you do have that on the job training. It's 5,840 hours over those 4 years. And you're going to be in class 560 to 640 hours. It just depends on which apprenticeship you go into. Millwrights are a little bit longer. That 560 hours, that is about 14 weeks of training in a classroom or online. We have started to do online training just because of the current situation, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will be back in session in our classrooms up here at our training center. As a millwright, it will be 16 weeks of training. And typically you're only going to school 2 weeks per semester, so 4 weeks per year. And I do say millwright and carpenters. We will definitely get into what a millwright is, what a carpenter is, floor cover, and so on. There's a guaranteed wage raise every 6 months and 730 hours. And at the end of the program, because it is through the state, you will get 39 college credits upon completion of the program. The Journey Worker Card and certificate upon completion also. The thing about the Journey Worker Card is that's kind of like our passport to go around the United States and Canada. If work is slow, say in Wisconsin, or things happen with a spouse's job and you have to move, let's say, out to California, you can transfer yourself into a local out in that area. And with that Journey Worker Card, they know that you have gotten the training to be that journey worker. So as far as carpentry, there are several different areas of carpentry. We always look at wood framing as carpenters. Carpenters always work with wood. Not necessarily when we get to commercial, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We also do some woodworking as far as building cabinets, furnitures, things like that. And we also have our floor covers, wood flooring, carpeting, VCT, which is vinyl composite tile, LVL, luxury vinyl. Tile, things like that. As carpenters, we do build the schools, hospitals, hotels, factories, apartments, stores, bridges, roads. Anywhere there's a structure, a carpenter is going to be involved. We also build scaffolding. We just had individuals down at the Beloit Power Plant. They were down there for 2+ years. And some of those carpenters down there building that scaffold made well over $100,000 last year. The hours that they were putting in and the money that they were making, they were able to bring home that 6-figure income. Concrete formwork. This is a big part of what we do in the commercial construction world. It's heavy work. I enjoyed it. The day went very fast when I was doing concrete work. To me, it was like working out every single day. I really liked doing the concrete work. And we also get into the traditional framing. We don't do a lot of it. We are working on getting more of the multi-use structures, the apartment buildings with the storefronts underneath, but that is a separate contract than the commercial contract. So the most wood that we deal with out on the commercial site is going to be our backing, so we can hang things from the walls, like our cabinets, grab handles, things like that. We do a lot of steel stud framing. Steel studs are what we use in the commercial world because of fire. We do not want these buildings to burn down if it's a wood structure. The fire, obviously the whole structure can burn down. So we use a lot of steel studs. Another nice thing about steel studs, they're not going to twist, warp, and crack like wood would. We can also store this material a lot easier than wood. These studs can actually lay together and it'll take up much less space than a bunk of wood. Again, steel stud framing, interior steel stud framing, exterior steel stud framing is a little bit different. Instead of screwing it into place, for the most part, we're going to weld it into place. We're also going to put in our horizontal braces that you see in this picture here, just to make sure that that's a good sturdy wall. And we also get into, again, hanging the drywall. Our steel stud framers usually also hang the rock. There isn't usually a difference there, but we do have people that only do the framing and only hang the rock. We also get into acoustical ceilings. This is great work to have, very lightweight. The other nice thing is one of the last things to go in the building. So the heat's on during the winter and the air conditioning's on during the summer. So this is really good work to have. During the summer, there is a lot of this work going on because we're in a lot of the schools. A lot of the schools have these ceilings and the hours can be very tremendous. You can make a lot of money doing it. Again, acoustical clouds. This is basically the same thing we were just seeing in the other picture, but they're going to be in different shapes and be randomly situated in these bigger rooms. To do a full ceiling tile or grid ceiling in this room here would be virtually impossible. That's why they do hang these clouds. And it's going to help with the sound in the room, the acoustics of the room. And we also get into that floor covering, like I said. We see a lot more of the LVL, the luxury vinyl. We also see the welded vinyl there, the guy up here in the left-hand corner, where they actually weld the floor together. In hospitals, it's very important. We're constantly cleaning in those hospitals, and we cannot have places where that mold can grow. So by sealing that floor completely, welding it together, we can make sure we can stay away from having any place for that mold to grow. And pile driving. This is Tracy's realm here. Tracy is on the call also, and she is actually with Zenith Tech, one of our bridge companies. They drive this piling to make sure our structures don't sink over time, or if we're in swampy areas, that they don't sink into the swamp. Everybody's very familiar with the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If we had just had a couple great pile drivers, we probably wouldn't have a Leaning Tower of Pisa. Again, you're going to see a lot of this work out on the bridges and underneath the buildings, like up on the isthmus. If everybody's familiar with the isthmus, it's a stretch of land here in Madison between Lake Monona and Lake Mendota. It can be very swampy when we excavate for our buildings, and we don't want them to sink. Another great picture of the pile driving and sheet piling. When we are building our bridges across waterways, we have to be able to get to the bed of that river to put in our pile and our footings for our piers to hold up our bridges. So what we'll do is we'll build what we call a cofferdam with this sheet piling, which is a big square. We'll pump our water out of there, and that lets our men and women that are going to be doing this work get to the bed of the river, drive their piling, form up their footings, and form their piers up. And we also get into millwright work. I know I talked a little bit about millwrights earlier. Millwrights are industrial mechanics. They're going to be doing pump and motor alignment, setting turbines, things like that. Where carpenters will measure down to a 1/16 of an inch, millwrights are measuring down to the 1,000th of an inch, basically the thickness of your hair. So they have to be very precise. If we don't get these machines mounted properly and level, if they get a wobble in them, in the bearings, they could tear themselves apart. It's not a good thing. We're going to find those millwrights in our paper mills, our material handling facilities, sugar beet plants, tactonite plants, all places like that. They work on our conveyors so we can move material to and from our factories. They're also going to work on our wind turbines. This gentleman here is sitting up on top of that wind turbine. That's about 300-400 feet in the air. It'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? They do the machine layout in our buildings and the gearbox repairs. They also get into drive shaft alignments and pump repairs, motor or rotor replacements. We also get into heavy equipment rigging. A lot of the equipment we're working with are built one-off in the factories. And when we install them into like our power plants or our sugar beet mills, things like that, if they're damaged, they can't just go to the shelf and pick up a new one. they have to rebuild that piece. So we are going to do all of our own heavy equipment rigging for that, because we want to make sure it's rigged properly. Also, if that load let loose from the crane, very heavy equipment, it would kill somebody. So we want to make sure we're the ones doing all the rigging. Again, another great picture of rigging. So as far as the apprenticeship, that's just kind of an overview of what carpenters do. As far as the apprenticeship, how to apply, we have to have a math qualification. 70% on our carpentry math test. Pretty basic, it's all basic algebra and geometry. Pretty easy test. And if you are struggling at all with the test, we do have a study guide. Big Step will step in and help you study for that test. Valid driver's license or statement of reliable transportation. It's very important to have our driver's license or that reliable transportation. We have to get to and from the job sites. If we're not on the job making money for our contractors, we can't make money ourselves. High school transcript, GED, HSED. I know sometimes these are tough to come by, but we'll make it happen. We have ways to make that happen. Right, Polo? We've helped people in the past. You just bring these 3 items to a training facility near you and you'll receive the following. Basically, a letter of introduction, and that just lets the contractors know when you're applying with them that you are ready to start the apprenticeship yourself. We're also going to give you a list of our contractors, and you will meet with Polo or I or one of the other business reps to kind of let you know which contractors are hiring. We got a good beat of what's going on with our contractors, who's hiring, who's not, and we're going to point you in the right direction to start. Just to get back to that math qualification, I know that's something that weighs heavily on some people. If it's been 5 years or less since you've been in high school and you have taken the ACT test, if you got a 15 or better on the math portion of your ACT, you do not have to take our math test. You would just bring that transcript in with your high school diploma and we would get that taken care of. This is our math test, everything you need to know for that math test. These are all the formulas and the guides. And this is what Big Step will help you study for. Again, you know, there's always certain things that employers are looking for. They want to make sure you have a good work ethic. Show up to work on time and every day. Very important. Any one of our employers will tell you that. They're also looking for team players. Very rarely in the trades do we work alone. We're always in a crew working together. So they do want to see that you are a team player. They're also looking for leaders. Now, a lot of people think that the leaders are the boss of the job, but that's not always true. Leaders are the ones on the job site that anybody can ask a question of and get an answer. They're always working together. Their leaders are ones that are going to point out possible safety things around the jobs and find a way to figure those out. Our leaders are going to be our problem solvers on that job site. You don't have to be the boss to be that problem solver. And it doesn't matter what you do in life. If you do have these 3 things and you work hard, you can be successful. Again, these are the classes that you'll take as far as the carpenter apprentice class schedule, millwright class schedule. Like I said before, carpenters, 14 weeks, 2 weeks per semester, 4 weeks per year for 4 years. Millwrights are a little bit longer, 16 weeks in those 4 years. And we have our floor covers. They'll be also 14 years in the pile drivers, 14 weeks, and your pile drivers will be 14 weeks also. As far as wages, apprentice right now, level 1 is going to start out $21.27 on the check, $42.50 with all the benefits, because the healthcare is going to be taken care of. You have a health reimbursement account, a pension, a 401k. There is a lot of benefits to go along with it. The nice thing is your raises are dependent on how many hours you're working and also getting in your schooling. So if you get your 730 hours in the 6-month period and you're getting your schooling in, you're going to get a 5% raise every 6 months. Till you get up to journey worker. Journey workers right now, $35.45 on the check, $56.68 total package. Or we can go to college. By no means am I saying don't go to college, but who wants to spend upwards of $25,000 a year to try to figure out what they want to do the rest of their lives? that is pretty much all I have, and I can kick it back to Stephanie for any questions.
I'm going to chime in here. I want to also give a shout out to you guys for also opening up your training centers to our participants. Same thing. We have done some career explorations where we've brought our participants over there, and you guys have been nothing but fantastic to them, giving them a tour, showing, you know, that fantastic facility that you guys have. And really, you know, taking the time out to you know, listening to the participants, listening to the potential participants, listening to their questions. And I am very proud to say that we have, you know, collaborated with all of you guys and have brought to you guys some great guys that have and gals that have come through our program that you guys have sold them on becoming carpenters. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. There is Aaron and Polo's information. Polo actually does a fantastic job with our Latino carpenters. He runs a monthly Latino Carpenter Unidos meeting, and so anybody, and one way that we work well together is anybody who shows any kind of interest in carpentry and has very limited English will come and talk to me, and I will, you know, and is interested in being a carpenter, I will then put them in contact with Polo Duran, and then, you know, we go from there. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And hopefully we
I
get
have
some
a quick question
new
too.
apprentices.
Right now, I know you said that if someone was interested in becoming an apprentice, that they need to kind of they pass that math test. Is your training facility currently open to take the test, or do you know when it will be?
So I do know we are going to have a soft opening coming up here in the next few weeks. As far as people needing to take that test, if we can meet with them somewhere, we will. It would be one of us business reps. But before we can do that test, we definitely have to have that high school transcript and that driver's license, and we have to have them fill out the application first. We have to hand that all in to make sure the training site has that information, and then they will give us the test.
Awesome. Thank you for your help, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So who is next on our list to present? Our great friends, and another great partnership that we have is with the IBEW 159. I can't say enough about you guys. Also, same thing. You guys have been nothing but fantastic with our participants or people who want to also get to know a little bit about the IBEW. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Damon and to Casey. Thank you, guys.
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody is doing well this morning. My name is Damon Glenn with the IBEW. This is my partner here, Casey Healy with the IBEW. We are both organizers for the IBEW. IBEW stands for International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. We are union electricians, and we take pride in being union electricians. We bring the blood life to everything you use every day. And that's electricity, that's power. So we're inside construction. What we do, we take the utility, which is the overhead wires you usually see on the highways and outside. They bring it to building. We take it from the building and we run all of the power and lighting and data and controls throughout the building. Some of the things that we do daily, and I would say 50% of the time in the inside and power and lighting world of our work is we bend conduit. And that's pretty much fabricating pipe. We use either hand benders or mechanical benders to fabricate our conduit. And the sole purpose of our conduit is to protect those wires. That's one of the things we do. We install, again, the lights, everything that's we're using right now to light up Stephanie's background, Stephanie Moreno and Johnson and everybody else. We do that. The computers, that's more of Casey thing with the VDV. Right now at this time, it's a very good time to get into the trades. I myself graduated from the UW a while ago. I'm in the trades. The trades is a good opportunity for me to provide for my family. It has been taking care of me and my family for 15 years now. I will say also with the IBW, one thing I like is that we have Electrical Workers Minority Caucus within the IBW, and it's called the EWMC. And what we try to do is to promote equal opportunity for minorities and women. And we actively try to engage and mentor our minority members and also our female members. At times within the trades, there's a transition for minorities and females. Okay, it's tough, and we do have that resource to help the process along, because it is a great career to have. So turn some other stuff over here to Casey. He's going to outline our apprenticeship program and different things like that.
So Casey Healy with the IBW, as Damon stated earlier, I believe it's a great time to get into the building trades. Apprenticeship right now is, I'll speak on the electrical side, we probably retire 25 members a year. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great time. If you drive around Dane County, you can see construction one site after another. Look in the skyline, see all the cranes in the air. It's a great trade. It's not for everybody. That's why you have people like Aaron and the people that are here representing the other trades. You can reach out to them and see if this is a fit for you. We have to deal with the 4 seasons. On a day-to-day where it's raining and drizzling, you're out there working. In the middle of winter, you're out there working. But we teach you to dress properly. We teach you safety on the job sites. That's an important part of our trade is, we want you to show up on the job site and we want you to return home after the end of the day. So, but like I said, it's the 4 seasons. It can be heavy lifting at time. It can be very physically demanding. But you get done with a day's work and you look around and you can visually see the work you've done for the day. And it's kind of a self-gratification going, yeah, I'm tired, but I got a lot of work done today, So that being said, we offer 2 different apprenticeship programs. The first one is a 5-year construction inside wireman program. And as Damon stated earlier, I'd like to tune it down and say, if it's got electricity flowing to it, you're going to learn how to wire it. So that 5-year program, let's start out. There's 3 prerequisites to both our apprenticeship programs. One being you have to be 18 years of age at the time that the apprenticeship is offered to you. So you have to have either graduated from high school. If not, you need to have completed like a GE program and a certificate. And we do have a math requirement. The math requirement in the IBW is you need to have had 1 full year of high school math, minimum algebra 1 or higher. So algebra 2, geometry, trig, calc, doesn't matter. And for 1 full year, you need to have obtained a grade of C or better. If you did not achieve your math requirement in high school, we have a program set up with WRTP Big Step. It's called ModuMath. It's an online program. I believe it's around 32 modules. Each module has between 15 to 20 questions. And so you can get a hold of Stephanie Marino down there or Candy and just say, hey, I need to get signed up for the ModuMath for the IBW, and they will take you from there. So let's say we've completed all of that. We do applications at our office, and we're at 4903 Commerce Court in McFarland. We also have an online option. If you send an email to office@ibew159.org, we will send you an application back to you that you can fill out and get back to us. And then you'd have to also send a copy of your driver's license or some kind of government ID and your high school transcripts. And so with that 5-year inside apprenticeship program, the schooling right now is presently at Madison College. Your first year, you're in school 1 day a week, and the rest of the time you're out in the field working. Your second, third, and fourth year, you're in school 1 day every 2 weeks, and you're out in the field the rest of the time working. While you're at school, you will be required to take a night class. So it's usually 1 night class per semester. It could be PLCs, motor controls, fire alarm class, structured cabling, first aid, CPR, OSHA, transition to trainer, foreman training, things like that. So them are usually 8 weeks, and they're usually 3 hours a night, 4:30 to 7:30. And I forgot to mention, while you are in day school, you do get paid your regular wage and benefit package. So you're not missing out on any pay by attending day school. Night school is on your own time. You do not get reimbursed for time for that. The second apprenticeship program we have is called Voice Data Video. It's a 3-year program. That basically, the things that you would work on doing through that apprenticeship is anything from 90 volts or less. So that would be data computer network cabling, phone system cabling and installation, fire alarm, security, camera work, door access, things like that. That program is, you go to school 2 days a month, Thursday, Friday, and that's for the whole 3 years. So you're in school 2 days a week, once a month. And once again, you're also paid your wages and benefit package as you're sitting in school as if you're out working in the field. The same thing, that's applied through, you can go to the office at ibw159.org and also fill out an application for that apprenticeship. You certainly have the option to fill out the application for both apprenticeships and see which one is offered to you. While you fill out that application, we also include a form called a CW form, which is a construction wireman. That would go with the inside apprenticeship. So it gives you an opportunity if to maybe get out in the field and work and see, is this really a good mix for me? It's a two-way street. It gives a contractor an idea to see if you're a responsible worker, going to show up every day, show up on time, show up with a positive attitude, show up with a willingness to learn and the ability to retain the information. And it gives you an opportunity to go, what does an electrician do every day? And you may think, hey, this is great. It's challenging, it's rewarding, I love it. Or you may say, I ain't doing this for 35 years. I think it's a great opportunity. And the same thing in the low voltage, it's an installer trainee. Same thing, gives you an opportunity to get out there, see what a technician does on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's a great program. It's a great way for somebody to get introduced into this trade. And other than that, I think I covered about everything on the apprenticeship. If Damon would like to say anything more, I know we work a lot with a lot of the organizations in the city here. We do a lot of summer programs, youth programs. I know we work with Operation Fresh Start. I know we work with WRTP. I know we work on another program with Findorf, getting high school students in here to show them what we do in the trades. We also, we offer a lot of opportunity, I think, for people to get a little hands-on and see if they'd be interested in it. So,
and just in closing, I would just like to say again, there's a lot of opportunity in the skilled trades. There's a shortage of workers. You will have the opportunity once you become licensed in a JW to make 6 figures in wages, probably another 15 to 20 in pension and benefits, and great health care. So ask any of your peers, any of your family members, if they would love to provide that for their family, and see what kind of response you get, and then come talk to us. That's it.
Thank you, Damon. Did you guys want us to do your presentation, your 2-minute video?
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, run it, yeah.
My Monday starts just like anybody else, except I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The job starts at 6:30, about an hour drive. So I was up at 4:30.
It's not glorious by any means. But I love doing it. It's something different every day.
Yeah, overall, it's cool work. You gotta learn it. Everything's learning on the job. So that's why you go to school twice a week at night for 6 hours and you work 40 hours a week.
A career as an electrical worker with the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, or IBEW, offers extraordinary benefits, including a strong wage package, medical insurance, and a sound retirement program, among many other benefits. This exciting career starts with apprenticeship through a joint apprenticeship and training committee, or JATC Training Center, operated by an IBEW local union and local chapter of NECA.
They give you all the tools that you need to succeed on a job site out here, because you only really have 5 years in the apprenticeship, so you got to get the most out of it while you're being trained.
An IBEW NECA apprenticeship offers apprentices the invaluable opportunity to work on the job, side by side with a journeyman electrical worker, and education in world-class electrical training facilities, unparalleled anywhere in the industry. A career as an IBEW NECA electrical worker opens the door to the possibility of exceptional career advancement, from apprentice to journeyman, estimator, and management roles, to even becoming the owner of your own electrical contracting business.
After I complete my 5 years in the apprenticeship program, I hope to pursue a license as a master electrician.
I just hope somebody gives me the opportunity to run a job like this, or get to the point where I've built my career enough to where, hey, that big job over there, yeah, that's Jordan Basic's job. That's what he's doing.
But while the prospect of becoming an IBEW NECA electrical apprentice may seem like the right path, working in construction is not for everyone. The real-life rigors of the electrical construction trade and the commitment to an additional 5 years of classroom instruction in a local area JATC trade school, as well as 8,000 hours of on-the-job training, should be understood and accepted prior to applying for your apprenticeship. This will help ensure you are making the right choice.
If you ain't learning on the job and you're just trying to show up to get paid, you ain't gonna really learn too much. In class, they'll do hands-on activities to kind of give you a feel for it. But then on the job, the journeyman will slow down and talk to you and kind of, if you ever have a question, you usually just ask them, and they should be able to stop whatever they're doing and talk to you.
Further, apprentice candidates are expected to possess a mechanical aptitude and a fundamental understanding of algebra and geometry, while being on time and keeping a good attitude. Utilizing what has been learned in the classroom, online, and in hands-on training applications, in conjunction with your willingness to listen to and carry out direction as instructed, is imperative. This is not only to ensure the job is done properly, but also for the safety of everyone working on the job site. Your attendance is also required on all work and school days, as well as being prompt, as the combination of quality work, safety, and on-time delivery of every construction project is part of what makes the IBEW the very best in the industry. Workdays in construction are different than in most other occupations. The construction workday may start as early as 6 a.m. and may also extend several hours past a standard 8-hour day.
I'm up at 5:45.
My alarm went off 4:30.
Day starts at 5 o'clock, so I try to be at work and park by 4:30.
No, you got to be in class at 7, ready to go. You're late. Go home.
Although IBEW NECA apprentices and journeymen are paid well for each and every hour worked, you may be required to make special accommodations for extended work days or work a 6 to 7 day week in order to complete a job with a tight deadline. Apprentices are also expected to attend school during the week, either in the evening or during the day, in addition to taking online classes through their local JATC. This places an additional burden on the situation to ensure all schoolwork is completed and done properly. Right from the very first day on the job, apprentices are expected to be dressed appropriately for work. This not only includes being dressed for the weather and potential changes, but also to work safely on a construction site. Weather conditions are often extreme, as electrical workers may be outside in the coldest months, as well as the warmest, with temperatures ranging from well below freezing to well above 90 degrees, with high relative humidity. This is not only a matter of your comfort to work well on the job, but also your safety.
The other day I was in a manhole that we have out there, and I was in there for about 5 hours yesterday. My feet were warm.
The work of an electrical worker may even be surprising to some, as apprentices may be required to unload trucks, dig ditches, and build basic structures, in addition to many other tasks.
I had no idea of what I was getting into, the extent of what I was getting into when I got into it. I did not know that electricians build things. I did not know that they tear down things. I figured they would just wire stuff.
We got a delivery coming. The guy's gonna pull it over by the pipe. He's got one skid. Want to get that for me?
You should also be aware that the restroom facilities on most job sites are limited to portable units and will be the only option available.
I never even thought about the restroom situation. Never paid any attention until I had to go to the restroom.
The understanding of your apprenticeship experience, both on the job and at the training center, is the key to making this career choice a success. And we hope this has provided a quality look into the life of an apprentice.
As long as you're there and you want to work, it always goes by smoothly.
It's just a day in the life of, is what I do.
Because, you're outside for 8 hours, it's a taxing day. You're out working physically. I wouldn't say it's easy by any means.
It's not bad. I know people think of construction, they think of dirty, and they think of, oh, it's a man's job. But you know what? It could be a woman's job too.
It's all about working together, being organized, and doing it right.
More information is available here on Electric Prep and through your local JATC training center.
So I again wanted to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you. Both the electricians and the carpenters are also partner with us for our summer construction program. And so this is another opportunity, another way. So thank you very much, you guys. Really appreciate your hard work and your collaboration, constant collaboration with us.
Thank you for your hard work and putting this on today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is going great. Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
I have a few questions before you jump off. If a person is interested in becoming an apprentice and they're having a hard time getting their transcripts because their school is closed, is there any way they can still apply with unofficial transcripts?
Yeah, you can. Your transcripts do not have to be with you at the date of application. There's 3 periods where it's always the 3rd Friday of April, August, and December. So if you applied like in January, you'd have until the 3rd Friday in April to still get your high school transcripts into your file. And we have had situations where people from other countries just have no access whatsoever to their high school transcripts. And then a case like that, we take that to the state of Wisconsin because this is an indentured apprenticeship program, and the state usually looks at that and they make accommodations accordingly. So.
Awesome. When is the next interview session that you guys are holding? I know you do them a couple times a year.
We got one coming up in August.
I think we're doing some in this next couple of weeks, and what they decided to do was just like we're doing, virtual interviews. So, I mean, that's where this world is at today. So that's what we're doing for interviews is virtual. So
that's great to hear that you're figuring out ways to just keep moving forward.
right.
I do know you guys have some documents available. I just wanted to put in a plug for that, which will be available when I share the Google folders, which includes the application, a copy of this video, and then were there any other documents in there that you had available for people to view?
Well, the other documents in the other folder are basically just, you know, some of the things we talked about, the qualifications, your math, your schooling. It will go over how many hours of classroom time that you do have compared to how many on-the-job hours, training, a little bit of description of what an journeyman wireman does on a day and what a low voltage technician does on a day-to-day. So just some sheets in there just for more information.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that and for taking the time to come out. We really appreciate all your guys' help. And I know the participants really are excited about, you know, getting into the field, and that video was quite inspiring too, I think.
Very truthful.
Yes.
No sugarcoating
it. Well, thank you. Definitely appreciate your help
thank you guys.
and participating, you guys. Okay. Next, I have had the pleasure of knowing Tracy for a few years now. Tracy was actually, she was on the interview panel when I first started at WRTP Big Step, and she has taught me a lot, provided me with great information to work in the Madison office, to bring her knowledge into the Madison office. So now she has moved on to an employer and is still very closely related, works very closely related with us at WRTP Big Step. And so we are very, very grateful. Thank you, Tracy, and appreciate the fact that you are always willing to be part of anything that we do, whether it's in whatever office, wherever office that we have. So without further ado, Ms. Tracy Griffith.
You know, this panel is great. And every time I think I know so much about all of the trades and different organizations that I work with, I sit on something like this and I learn something every time. So I'm very, very happy to be here. It's a new world. We're learning to navigate this. So it's odd for me because I'm looking at myself and, you know, the panel as I'm talking. So I'm not sure who's out in the virtual world, but I want to thank anyone who's attending. So you can hear information about our company. We're a great company, and I don't say that just because I work there. I'm the HR Outreach Manager for Wallbeck Group. And Wallbeck Group is a family of 5 companies. And in the Madison area, you'll know us more for Payne and Dolan and Zenith Tech. We're a road building heavy highway contractor. So when you're complaining about driving and some of the construction that you're seeing, you probably see Zenith Tech and Payne and Dolan, and that makes me happy because we build things right. We do a great job, and we have fantastic crews. So take a look as you're out there, as you're navigating your career, and you're not sure which route you want to go. You're going to see us on the highways building bridges and building roads. We work throughout Wisconsin, Michigan, and Minnesota. So we're signatory to 4 trades. So you've heard some of the apprenticeship and union information. And the 4 trades that we're signatory to as a road building contractor are carpenters, cement masons, laborers, and operating engineers. And so I guess I'd like to pose a question out there. If anybody's actually listening to me, somebody has to fake it. But I'm curious out there, does anybody have any work experience in the 4 trades that I mentioned? Which were labor, cement masons, carpenters, and operating engineers. And if you don't have work experience, does anybody have an interest? Is anybody out there that says, oh, I was a laborer, I did carpentry, or I'm working for this contractor? Anybody? Because what we look for, so as we're seeing if anybody responds, Stephanie, you don't have to have experience coming into us. So we hire in 2 classifications on our field side. We're either going to hire you as an apprentice or a journey worker. So when you come into us, you could be a current apprentice and maybe you're laid off, your company that you work for slowed down and you're sitting on the bench. And I work very closely, our company works very closely with our union partners to bring in people who may have an interest in road building. So there's that option to come into our company. Sometimes people have absolutely no experience and they're navigating this world. They're attending this, job fair and different job fairs, figuring out what they want to do and how they figure out what trade. The videos are great. I love the PowerPoint that Carpenters did. Electrical and sheet metal gave so much information. And as you're sitting there going, what skills do I have? Where can I go? You don't have to have necessarily a lot of skills to get hired, although we do always look for people that have something in their background, because then we know that they're able to have an idea of what construction is. We also look to hire from our partners. So we work very closely with Big Step in the Madison area. I work with Forward Services, Urban League, Operation Fresh Start. We're out there working with the community and trying to figure out how to hire people who are getting training. So those trainings, if you go through those mean something to us as a contractor. We look for that on the application as well. So if you are coming in with nothing, don't be afraid of that, but I would encourage you to reach out to Big Step or to one of the academies to maybe get some training. So you're usually going to hear about construction work and you think construction, think of it as this big umbrella, and under it are all these trades and opportunities. So you have the commercial and residential, which everybody knows about. We're going to build this building. I'm going to build a house. People forget about us. We build roads, we build bridges, we have so much work and opportunity, but people don't often hear about us. It's not talked about in the schools, and people aren't sure how to get to us. So I encourage you to look into the road building, heavy highway side of the house. There's so much work to be done. Erin had great pictures from Carpenters. I mean, some of those pictures, show just what you can do and how you can contribute to things that are being built. So we always look to hire new people. Our busy time usually is going to be from the summer months. That's when we're busy. So we bring back our current employees after winter and we bring them back in spring. And we look to bring new people on coming May, June, and depending what work we have and how busy we are, sometimes through July. I think last year I bothered Aaron so much on the carpenter side. I talked to him more than I did my family members as we were looking to bring people into our company. We just had that much work. So I think sometimes people are asking, and some of the trades who were on mentioned it, how has COVID-19, has it affected us? So of course there's effects and impacts across the board. But the great thing about construction, we found we are essential. We've kept working. We're figuring out how to navigate this new world, how to work safely, how to keep our current employees safe, how to train people coming in, and continue to build and move forward with the work. We're still bidding on work. We're still winning projects, and we're going to need people. I don't remember who mentioned it in one of their presentations, but people are retiring. There is going to be so much need in our industry to fill those slots as people retire. And it doesn't sound glamorous. I think Electrical's video was fantastic on, you're up early. Road building, I'm going to tell you, you're up early, you're hitting, if you show up on time, you're late. And you have long hours. When we're having good weather, you're out there working. That's just long days, long hours. And if it rains, bad weather, you're not going to work. So you have to be ready to work and show up every day. I do want to mention Erin's video for Carpenters. So sometimes people ask me when I'm actually at a career fair talking to a real live person instead of all of you out there somewhere, what do we look for? What does our company look for, right? What do we look for when we hire? Aaron's slide was fantastic when he showed what employers in general look for. we absolutely want a team player and a leader and somebody. The work ethic is unbeatable. If you're willing to work and learn, construction is a great avenue for you. But the one thing I want to mention too is we look for somebody who is trainable. And we forget that because not everybody takes direction well. Sometimes people come and they're offended, if they're corrected or if they're given different direction. You come in thinking you know everything. I think we have to navigate life like we're not growing if we're not learning. So when you are hired and you come into the world of construction, you have to be willing to learn and be trained and look at the people who have been in the industry, take their tips, take their shortcuts, hear what they're having to say. And the biggest thing is being adaptable. Our industry is probably the most adaptable industry. As you'll see, we have to be. You can go on a job site and what you thought you were going to do that day can change. The weather can affect it. If materials aren't there, it can affect it. If a person doesn't show up, it affects it. So it's a constant adapting. And so you have to have that personality that is able to, oh, I was going to do this, I'm going to do this, and to get the job done. And those are some of the things we're looking for. And I guess I'd ask you, why do you want to go into construction? What interests you about construction? And when you're sitting there and you're figuring that out, that will help direct you to which place you want to go. If you don't like working outside, if you don't like the heat, the cold, elements, road building, we are outside. You're gonna be in the heat. Sometimes you're gonna be in weather that isn't the best. But I will tell you, as you're doing the roads and the bridges and you're driving with your family and you can point out what you did and how you contributed to that, the building of that area, to those roads, and you feel good about it, you've picked the right trade. The other thing I want to mention, apprenticeship is important. Erin's PowerPoint talked about the training. We support the apprenticeship program. We expect our apprentices to attend training, to learn, to grow, and hopefully benefit us long term. And our company has a history of having people that stay. They grow with our company. We offer a lot of internal opportunities throughout the years. We actively recruit minorities and females. I love the pictures of females and minorities that we're seeing on the job site. I would love it to be a time where that just is the norm. That's great. We have a Woman of Walbeck group internally for our company to support the women in our company. I also belong to Empower, which is a female union group that grows and supports union sisters in the trades. I'm the co-chair of that committee. So I'm saying this, so if there's women that are out there going, can I do this? Is this for me? I challenge you. I say it absolutely is for you. You can do it, but also research and find out where you would be the most successful, where you would be the most challenged, or when you wake up and you want to go to work. The pay and the benefits are great. I don't remember if it was sheet metal or electrical when they were talking about the pay, and they said, the pay is great, right? You're making good money. There's a whole package. But if you're not loving what you do, it really is work. When you find that you're going and you're showing up, you earn every penny that you make. But at the end of the day, if you're feeling satisfied and you want to go back and do more, you are in the right trade. Then you've picked the right place to be. So having said all of that, I'm hoping that you have some interest in road building. If you're out there and you're navigating and you're thinking, I want to build a house, and that's great. Check out road building. If you're thinking, I want to work on the commercial side, the neat thing about the apprenticeship program, you do get trained across the board in a lot of different areas. When you're working for us, you're going to be doing road building work. And so if you have experience, with a commercial contractor, that's okay. I mean, that's fantastic. Give us a try. Check us out. See if the road building side of the house is something that you want to do. And why wouldn't you want to try it? If you're getting trained and doing work, you know, expand your resume a little bit and see what it looks like on that side. I think that's about it. I guess I'd like to see if there's any questions out there.
Yeah, Tracy. So one of the questions we have is if a participant has some experience kind of working in pavement and concrete with a non-union organization, is it kind of a start over when you kind of move over and into the apprenticeship, or how does that look when you have some experience but maybe not all of it?
That's a great question. So what I would say is make sure your resume is updated and really has a detail of your work experience. I'm going to answer the question a little bit generically and not purposely. Each trade works a little bit differently, but oftentimes what we can do, depending on the trade, we would take a look at that resume and see if you are, how much experience you have. Do you have enough to be qualified as a journey worker? Do we want to put you in the apprenticeship program? If so, depending on that trade, what would we credit you? Oftentimes, if you have experience, we can take a look at that and work with that trade and give you some credit towards your work hours. Again, each trade works very differently, so that's why I'm being a little bit generic, but we can take a look. We want to acknowledge that experience, but we also want to make sure you're getting trained, if needed, in the union training at the apprenticeship program is great. State of the art, you're not going to get better training. So we want to encourage people to take advantage of that if they can. But if you've had years of experience, or even a year or two, we would look at that, hopefully give you some credit or have a conversation about that and move you into our industry.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy.
Does that answer the question? Do you think?
Yes, perfect. There's not a concrete answer. It's kind of on a case-to-case basis.
And trade by trade, it differs from each trade. So if there is a person who has that experience, I'm going to give my email, or I think it's on here. Oh, it's not on here. tgriffith@wallbeckgroup.com. Feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions you might have, or if you want to share your resume. We do put our open positions on our website. Take a look at www.wallbeckgroup.com. Read about our company. It shows what we do for each of our companies. There's videos that you can see on there. And then you can click on careers, and any open jobs we have, you can search by trade, you can search by area, and you can take a look and see what you think, and you apply online. And once you put in that application, everything for the most part is electronic, and you can upload your resume. If you don't have a resume, I would recommend putting one together using Big Step to help you if needed, or at least typing in your work history and any certifications you have. That way we can take a review, and what happens when that comes through, our business partner takes a look at it and screens the applications, and will reach out to you. You'll get an email back, so make sure you're checking email. If you are part of the union, either an apprentice or journey worker, when you apply, it's going to ask you that. So make sure you put what you really are. If you're not sure, reach out to your trade and ask them. We always verify it. We always do a check to see who you are, what your history is. Are you in good standing? Are you ready to go? Because what we want to do is, if we're hiring you, when we need you, we need you. Sometimes during our slow season, when spring's coming, things move a little bit slower. We get people in our pool and we're waiting for work to pick up. But when we're busy, we want to be able to move you and get you out on the job as quickly as we can. So feel free to either email me if you have any questions or anything that I didn't cover or answer. But take a look at our website and the openings and see where you think you see yourself fit with our company. If there aren't other questions, I would like you to play the video that we have just to show the kind of work that we do for those of you that have never been stuck in construction or watch the road building and bridges go up, just so you have an idea of what we do as a company.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for answering that question. I think that wraps it up for what we have up right now. So I will play the video for you.
Welcome to the Wallbeck Group, a family of construction companies that have collectively served the needs of customers throughout Wisconsin, Michigan, Northern Illinois, Minnesota, and beyond for 85 years. Our team of experts provide professional construction and engineering services in addition to producing quality construction materials. We're looking for talented professionals such as yourself to join our team. Do you desire to be a part of a culture that's committed to safety and excellence, offers exceptional training, and provides unlimited potential for you to grow and develop your career? We certainly hope so and invite you to get to know us a little bit better.
Thank you, Tracy. That it's always a pleasure. I love listening to you talk. I've seen you talk at our Women in the Trades presentations that we've had with at Big Step in Milwaukee, and you definitely inspire anybody and everybody who like you said, just give it a chance, right? And or if you want to find out about it, just ask the questions, because why not? Why not me? Why not you? Why not anybody? So I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me. If I could just say one more thing for those out there watching and afraid to make that change, I really believe, and I think our company believes, I think this will be our mantra, we just don't know it. It's never too late to be who you want to be. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're making a change and you're scared, or you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, and is it going to work? Take that step. There's nowhere to go but forward. Just keep taking that step. And I'm sorry if my eyes are all over. It's so weird doing this. And I'm seeing you, Stephanie, and I know there's people out there. So reach out to us, or to one of the other trades. My feelings aren't hurt if you don't pick our company. What we want to do, I think this panel, is direct you in the best place for you. And there's some great experts and opportunities as part of this panel, and lots of experts that can answer your questions. Take advantage of it. And thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to participate too. And I know that we can always count on you. So definitely appreciate you and everybody else who has been part of this panel and this virtual career fair. I think it went pretty well. Actually looking forward to have maybe a couple more in the next couple of weeks. If anybody's interested in participating again, we're looking to also probably partner and do another one. So definitely thank you to all of you. And next, let's see, we are going to have Ahern and Miss Heather Holzman. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. So I don't think I've met any of you in person. So nice to see you all. I'm Heather Holzman. I'm a recruiting coordinator at Ahern. So just to tell you a little bit about our company. So we've been in business since 1880. We are a mechanical contractor with fire protection. So we have about 1,400 employees, and we hire both union and non-union positions, just depending on what you were hired for. We design, build, fabricate, install, and service many different systems. So that would be HVAC, wastewater, pipe fabrication, plumbing, and pipe fabrication and fire protection. So essentially we have 4 shops in our Fond du Lac location. So we have a HVAC or sheet metal shop. We're prefabricating all of the HVAC ductwork. We have a fire protection shop. We're prefabricating all of the JF Ahern sprinkler needs. We have a pipe fabrication shop where we're fabricating different size pipings, fittings, and flanges. And then a plumbing shop where we're prefabricating all of the different plumbing components. We also have 2 additional support in Appleton for industrial services, as well as another pipe fabrication. We have 14 locations throughout the US. 7 of those are in Wisconsin and 7 are outside. So we do obviously have a location in DeForest, which is right outside of Madison. So there, it's not necessary. We have like a smaller shop that helps with our fire protection that we do in the area. And then we have some, designer, more professional level positions that work out of there. How our positions work is you would start as a pre-apprentice. If you're, in the Fond du Lac, Appleton location, you would typically start in our shops. If you're outside of that area, so more in the Madison area, we do accept those pre-apprentices. They would just start right in the field. And then we also have sprinkler fitter apprenticeships as well. So always looking for, pretty much the same as everybody else, looking for somebody that good work ethic and willing to learn. We have some apprenticeships available in sprinkler fitter, but nothing right now in the Wisconsin area, but this could all change tomorrow. So when you are looking for a position with Ahern, you could go to our website at www.jfahern.com. If you're not seeing anything that you're either interested that are opening, or if what is interested to you isn't available, there is a spot on our website that says Talent Network. Sign up here. That way you can sign up and tell us what type of positions that you are looking for. And then you would receive like job alerts when something would become available to post. Otherwise too, we just go in there and randomly look for people that have put positions that they were looking for. So trying to think of anything else that I have to add, really. Is there any questions? I know it's definitely shorter than some of the other folks that joined here.
No worries on that. So you mentioned that your jobs will be posted on your website. Does that mean you apply online as well as an online application?
Yep.
And then do you take resumes, or you just look for the information in the application?
You can either just fill out their application, or they can attach the resume as well. So we accept either one.
Awesome. And you said currently, right now, there are not any positions available in the Madison area.
Yep.
But like you said, the conditions are changing quite frequently right now.
Like kind of the other contractors have said too, since we are an essential business, we've been doing some things, but some jobs have kind of paused. So, that kind of took care of us, really needing to add to our workforce. But definitely, that is all changing with as this COVID thing is all changing. So
I think, as we all know, like you said, you never know from one day to the next because of all the changes, and you never know if, and even without the COVID, without this pandemic that we find ourselves in, there are days that the next day you need people without, you know, I mean, it changes on a daily, basis. And Heather, thank you very much. Cause I know that Ahern is also another one of our collaborators. Anytime that we need somebody, if they want to participate in either like an interview process or any other types of career fairs that we've had, you guys have definitely also stepped up. So we definitely appreciate you participating in this. And yeah, this is, you know, while this is new, again, you know, if we have to continue doing this, we will, and we hope to have your willingness to collaborate for the next time. So thank you. Any other questions, Steph? Was there another one or no?
No, there was not.
Okay, so here's Heather's information again. If anybody else you have any questions, definitely just, you know, keep sending them in. Otherwise, I think we will go ahead and move on with our next presenter.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, again, Heather, and we will be, this is going to be rebroadcasting again, so your information is going to be there. And yeah, I mean, we hope that we get some great participants and great folks who are looking for these opportunities that are going to be available. And again, as we said, we don't know. It can change from, you know, one day at a time. So I appreciate you, Heather. Thank you very much. Our next presenter then is Sherry Aranda, and she's with H.J. Pertzborn. H.J. Pertzborn is also another one of our contractors that we work closely with as far as asking them to participate in either some interviews for our participants, any other career fairs that we have. So we definitely appreciate you guys being part of this also. So without further ado, Ms. Sherry Aranda. You're muted, yeah.
Yeah, how about that? Is that a little better? I will tell you, this is my first time on a virtual job fair, so.
As it is for all of us, so we're all learning. This is fantastic.
Right. Pertzborn Plumbing has been around for 92 years here in the Madison area. We are a fourth generation business. We have plumbing, fire protection. We also have operating engineers. We do inside and outside plumbing work. And as we know, in this time, everybody needs some plumbing, as stated in the other video clip, how someone didn't think about their restroom. Well, we're here to rescue you when you need that restroom yet in this time frame. We're signatory to 4 different unions. We have the plumbing, the operators, the sprinkler fitters, and the laborers. We like to start out our employees, if they're interested in an apprenticeship or plan, that they start out in our shop and they learn our plumbing material or sprinkler material. We also have a small pipe fab shop back for the sprinkler side of things. In our back shop, we've been located on John Nolan Drive for since I think it is 1994. We've been over here in this area, so we're pretty centrally located, so it's easy for everybody to get to us, and it's easy for us to get to them when there's a need. We have office positions as well as field and apprenticeship positions available. We too, on our website, have our positions posted. Currently, we need a fire protection sprinkler designer. We are also looking for a union plumber, journeyman plumber for our service plumbing division. We have a commercial division for plumbing and a commercial fire protection division. We also do sprinkler inspections, as well as repairs and installations into commercial buildings. We too like to promote the fact that we're a very family-oriented, team-oriented business. I know we've worked with Centro Hispano many times, and we have 3 gentlemen here currently. Sometimes when we have a couple issues with communications, we have some that can help us along, which is nice to be bilingual as well for the company. We have a lot of information on our website, which is www.hjpertzborn.com. You can contact us through our website. In about a month, we'll have our new website up and running, and you'll be able to apply, fill out the application online as well. We take a resume or an application, whichever is available, and like to do an interview. Currently, we too have not had our building open to the public, but we are certainly available via email, phone, website. It's been pretty strong, even in this environment that we're dealing with. Not sure, any questions for me or?
There is a question for the fire protection designer. Is this something that you're going to need some previous knowledge or experience in that position?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have an individual who is going to be doing some training, but we prefer if they've had some sort of experience.
Okay.
And you said that the positions available, are they listed currently on your website, or do you use Indeed?
Yep.
Or
they're both out there on our website currently.
And then let's see, they can apply online. Do you suggest that they come to your office, or would you rather have folks apply online?
Our new website will have the application fillable online, and I'm hoping it's within the next couple weeks here, but a month for safety. But they certainly can email it to us at pertzborn@hjpertzborn.com.
Fantastic. I appreciate.
and I will include that all of the contact information and the information given during the presentation in the Google Drive when I share that with the attendees as well.
Perfect.
I appreciate, Sherry, you participating and yeah, going out. This is out of everyone's comfort zone. So we tried doing I know that you were practicing in the morning. We were practicing in the morning. We did this yesterday too. We're like, what are we supposed to do? So it's definitely, I think it's actually been a huge success. Now, you know, it's again, this is something that I think that for a little bit longer, we're going to have to get used to, you know, talking. I'm such a social person, and Norma could definitely attest to that. I mean, we're all, you know, this is hard for me. Like I like to, you know, to talk to people. I like to be next to people, and so it's very difficult for us to. I mean, at least for me to be, you know, to be on a screen, but definitely appreciate you participating. And we hope that if we were to have another one, that you would be more than willing to either, you know, send us your information or participate again. So
absolutely. Yeah, this is very much out of my comfort zone. I've been with the company 25 years, and this is my first presentation in front of people.
Well, you did fantastic. I think as we all did. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and I think we then have, is Ryan on? Or
no? So
okay.
we're the rest of the employers were not able to make it live. So just gonna cover some other employment opportunities. Harker does plan on hiring in the HVAC industry in the near future. So within the next 3 months, they're expecting to be hiring. I will send out their contact information with the follow-up email tomorrow. Peeper Power has quite a few positions available right now, and then continue to plan on hiring within the next 3 months. So lots of opportunities now and in the future. Material handler and pre-apprentice are great positions if you're starting out and looking to get into the apprenticeship program. They're also hiring for journey person, foreman, and additional office opportunities can be found on their website. And I will include their website, and we also have their online application and information about those positions in their Google folder that we will share. And actually, I think that wraps up. We almost had everybody show up, so that was perfect. Just looking to see if there's any additional questions about kind of what the next steps are. Doesn't look like it.
One of the things that I do want to touch base, I believe that, even if you go and you can contact the contractors or the employers themselves, but you can also then also contact their trade, their signatory trade that they may be signatory to. I believe Harker is signatory to Local 18, which is sheet metal. So if you have any questions about that too, you can contact them. And then Peeper, I believe, is with the IBEW. Damon, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think then they can also have some information too. So if you can't, a little more information, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to turn it over to Norma, because I think we're at the time where we are going to be saying our thank yous and our goodbyes. But let me turn it over to Norma at Centro, and then I will close it out.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, all the WTRP and Big Step and all the employers that were able to join us today. It's been wonderful. As you mentioned, Stephanie, it's been successful so far. I think as we move forward, this is the way that, the best way right now to bring all this information to you. I will just, like to add that this is, and some of you mentioned it, this is a time of change. I think I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, it's too easy to mute yourself.
Yeah, everything was being great, and then this happens. But it's a time of change, and these are great opportunities. And if you know somebody, or if the trades have been in your family for a long time, or even if they have not, this is an opportunity for those who, as we mentioned, have those skill set. And would like to make the career change, or would like to seek that new opportunity within the trades. So I want to thank you all, and the participants. Make sure to, we're going to put this information out on Facebook, so make sure you follow us on Centro Hispano of Dane County Facebook page. We have all great resources and information out there. We'll be sharing this video. Make sure you share with all the family, tios, tias, primos, friends. Make sure you share with the networks. And we are, we are family. We consider you already part of the Centro family and Big Step family. And to the employers, thank you for your time. It's been such a wonderful first virtual Latino job fair, and it's not done yet. So I know we're continuing the next couple sessions for today. So thank you. Look us up on Facebook, share this great information. My contact information is on the screen, norma@micentro.org. Sorry, it's that right there, but I will make sure that it's also shared with all the participants. If you have any questions, we are also always happy to help you with finding that right job, the right fit, the right education for you to thrive. So thank you again, and we'll see you soon. It's been a wonderful day. It's a great way to start the morning as well. Very excited.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Norma, Sherry, Heather, everybody. I want to also real quick just say, one of the greatest things of this community collaboration and partnership that we're doing with Latino Academy and Centro Hispano especially is that we all provide a little bit of different types of trainings and non-traditional occupations for both, our communities, but for both men and women. And I feel like, there is nothing, better than to do it this way, right? Because I know that at some point or the other, because of that hands-on trainings or any other types of trainings that we provide, we can somehow interconnect with each other. So again, definitely a big shout out to Centro for willing to be, collaborators and partners, our primary partners, our host actually. So definitely, gracias Norma. Esta colaboración couldn't have happened without you. So thank you. And yes, we will. So actually, I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just rebroadcasting this again at the 2 o'clock and then at the 6 o'clock. One of us will be on just to make sure that there are no current questions there, so that then we can, answer those questions. But as long as we have all of your information, we will make sure that anybody who has questions regarding each individual employer or each individual organization, that we will get them that information. We will be hopefully going to post this also on our live. Hopefully, I think we'll figure something out to put it on our Facebook, and then we will then also share it so that Centro can also put it on our Facebook. So again, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. We look forward to doing this again, and to all of our partners, IBEW, carpenters, employers. Thank you very much. Really couldn't have done this without all of you guys, and to my wonderful colleague, Stephanie Johnston, and to Candy for doing the, sending out the emails and figuring stuff out. Really, they are the backbone to this. So appreciate, huge thanks and shout out to my team.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, okay, just 1 minute. Norma, explain the difference. Norma just asked, what is the difference between a pre-apprentice and an apprenticeship, right? Is that what you're saying? Who would like to take that on? Aaron, Casey.
So pre-apprentice is basically an individual that hasn't either hasn't taken their test yet or hasn't been indentured by a contractor. So if they haven't taken our math test, they can be in the pre-apprenticeship, they can work for the contractors, but we have a stipulation that they can only work as a pre-apprentice for 1 year. During that time, there are two, they'll start at a base rate and then they'll move up one rate at the 6-month mark. But at the end of that year, the contractor either has to indenture them in the apprenticeship program, write us a letter saying that this person is of journeyman status, which doesn't happen very often ever, or they have to let that individual go. We have started a youth apprentice, and that's just a third dimension to the whole thing, but that's through the state, where they can actually work for a contractor while they're in high school and serve a youth apprenticeship. Typically, if they come in as a youth apprentice, they're going to work that school year with the contractor, learning the different facets of the trade, and then upon graduation, the contractor typically signs them right into the apprenticeship. They start their apprenticeship at that point.
Fantastic. And Casey, did you want to give, was there a difference between what he said and what you with the IBEW, or is it pretty much similar?
Was that question on pre-apprentice?
What's the difference between a pre-apprentice and an apprentice, or a pre-apprenticeship and an apprenticeship?
Well, I guess what we talked about earlier is that would be our CWCE classification, or installer training. So it gives a person an opportunity to get out in the field, do some work, see if this is something they really like. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And then if they do, then they can take the next level of apprenticeship. So where it used to just be apprenticeship, and then we found people get into it, and after a couple of years decide, hey, this isn't a good mix for me, and then they leave. Well, that just took away an opportunity of somebody that really wanted to get into an apprenticeship 2 years ago. So yeah, I think it's a good program, and I think it works well. I think it works well for the contractor, and I think it works well for the individual that wants to get into a trade.
And maybe Tracy, you might want to touch base on you will know, as a contractor, maybe hiring a pre-apprentice and, or apprentice, maybe.
For us as a contractor, we don't have a pre-apprenticeship classification. We hire as an apprentice or a journey worker.
Okay.
We are navigating youth apprenticeship with our company. That's fairly new on the construction side. There's a little bit more difficulty in road building to make that happen. The other thing I want to mention around pre-apprenticeship, though, I sit on the state Wisconsin Apprenticeship Advisory Council, and I just want to remind everyone who's listening that Big Step is actually considered a state certified pre-apprenticeship program. So the importance of that, they're recognized from the state that their training is valid. It's what they're doing is recognized. So if you do go through training through Big Step, that means something, mostly, for our trade partners and for the contractors, that they know that there's specific training, they're getting benchmarks that they're making as part of their training as they come out to get into an apprenticeship or to a pre-apprenticeship. So that's not, the people are not pre-apprentices, they're not signing on with the trade at that point, but that program itself is a recognized program.
Which means that, yeah, they have completed a pre-apprenticeship. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate the question, Norma. And yeah, that was definitely should definitely touch base on that. So again, thank you very much. Any last questions, Normita? Did you have anything else? No? Something to?
I do have a comment real quick. So now when we do talk about those pre-apprenticeships, like Tracy said, they do not offer a pre-apprenticeship. And that has to do with Zenith Tech deals mainly with Davis-Bacon jobs. And if there's Davis-Bacon money tied to any of those jobs, they have to have a classification. And the federal government does not recognize pre-apprenticeship as a designation for an individual. That's why that they either have to be a youth apprentice, apprentice, or journey worker when it comes to those Davis-Bacon or those federally funded jobs.
Thanks for that clarification, Aaron. That is probably very helpful.
Good to know.
Good catch. That's very accurate.
Well, thank you guys very much. If without any other, oh, hold on.
There's one more question.
Will you be taking resumes right now, and must they have a cover letter? We had one participant, so.
That's how all
Would you like cover letters with your resume?
Yeah, I think that goes to pretty much to anybody. I mean, depending, you know, I mean, I think you could all answer that question. I don't know, maybe Wahlbeck requires a cover letter, maybe does.
A resume that is reflecting accurate work experience and skills is what I'm interested in. I don't need a cover letter.
Yeah, I would agree. I tell people sometimes a lengthy resume is not always looked at. I tell them to put it on a one-page, use some bullet points, and think of it as you're going to the interview process, and this would never happen. And I say, oh, I'm sorry, we're 2 hours past on interviews. I don't possibly have any time to interview you. What is it you absolutely want me to know about yourself? And that would be, of course, your name, contact information, start out in high school. You want to show anything that you've done outside of participation. I don't care. Maybe you were a captain of a sporting event. Maybe you were a team leader on a debate. Maybe you were in the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, doesn't matter. Maybe your hobby is on the weekends you build patio furniture with your grandfather. Anything that shows any kind of mechanical aptitude, any certification whatsoever, I just tell people, put that down. Let these people know at the interview time as much about you as possible. So
that's a great point, because we've had people ask us what happens if we don't really have work experience, right? Especially younger people who may not have it. I'm going to second what he's saying, is that put down, you did something. There's something about you that's valuable, so you have to figure out what that is. Did you take a trade class in high school where you were building something, or you did some welding, or you did something? Now you might say, oh no, I didn't really do anything. Then you think about what that is that you would want to put on. Did you play on a sports team? You know, put something. But for us, it is very much, I'm going to look at, we want to see a work history if you do have one. And if you have any mechanical or any sort of inclination, we want to see what that looks like. It doesn't have to be overly detailed. But I also would recommend, I think it's okay today if you're giving, you know, one resume out, but when you are applying for actual contractors, I'm going to recommend that what you want to do is, if you have an objective on it, you want to change it to tailor it to that contractor and to those trades. Because if I get something that says, I want to be a sheet metal worker, I want to be a that's great. I think it's a fantastic trade. I'm going to say, go for it. We're not a sheet metal contractor. So I'm going to say, oh, not really applicable to us. So just make sure you're taking a look, and it's a little extra work. It's a little extra time, but put that energy into it so that the contractor, so us as an employer, know that's something that you're interested in and that you're wanting to do.
Great questions, great answers. I appreciate that. Any other questions? No? Last words? Testaments? No? I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And we look forward to working with each and every one of you again, and possibly putting another one of these on, and, you know, maybe in a month or so, and seeing hopefully the landscape changes as far as all of a sudden you're all looking for people, and then we can do this again for you. So thank you. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, Norma. Gracias, Centro Hispano. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys.
Nice seeing everyone. Stay
Thank
safe,
you.
stay healthy.
Bye.
Bye.